Today we're going to continue to discuss angles by discussing some other types. To start, if we have two angles with measures that have a sum of 90, those are called complementary. I'm going to run out of room because complementary is a long word. I'm going to underline it down here for you. So angles 1 and 2 are complementary. And that little box, remember, that means 90 degrees. It's a short way of saying 90 degrees. So here we have angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. Let's try this one right here. This is a separate problem. Are A and B complementary? Well, if we take the two measures, the 65 and the 25, and we add them up, we're going to get 90 degrees. So yes, angle A and angle B are complementary. And again, kind of long, but there you have it, complementary. Now another kind are angles. Oh, before I start there, let's practice a couple of them. So if they tell you that the angles are complementary and they give you one of them, they want you to find the other. And I like to think of this as a money situation. Okay, so let's assume that you have $90 to spend. I know that that might not be the case. I don't have $90 right now, but pretend that the degrees are money. So let's say in store number 1, or angle number 1, you have 52 degrees. If I asked you how much you have left over to spend in store number 2, what would you do? Usually you would say, okay, well, I had 90, but I spent 52, and that's going to be 38 left over for the second store. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do those when they're just numbers like that. When it's algebra, you would actually have to set something up that says angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. But in this case, because it's just numbers, we can pretend that it's money. So here they're still complementary, but we spent a lot of money in the first store. So we're only going to have $14 to spend on angle 2. And here we hardly spent much in the first store. We spent a little less. So here we're going to have $71 to spend on angle 2. So that's how I like to do that. I like to pretend it's money. Now, these were the angles I was getting ready to talk about prior. These have a sum of 180. They don't add up to 90, they add up to 180. And they're called supplementary. And again, it's a long word. Supplementary. So here they're showing you that special case that you already know about. We learned about before, the linear pair. Now remember, that lies along a straight angle. I'm going to highlight that for us. So there's your 180 degrees, but they don't have to be a linear pair to be supplementary. Let's look at these two, P and Q. Angle P plus angle Q. If we add those together and get their sum, we also get 180. So angle P and angle Q are supplementary. There you go. Kind of a long word, but they don't have to be stuck together. They can just add up to that amount and be supplementary. So let's try some more. Let's pretend we're back at the stores. We know that we have $180 to spend because the angles are supplementary. So here at the first store, we spent $52. So if we subtract that from the 180, we have $128 to spend at store 2. Here we spent $76. So we have $104 to spend on angle 2. Let me fix my 4 a little bit. And here we spent $19, not very much. So we have $161 for degrees for angle 2. And that's how supplementary and complementary work. Now, the word perpendicular. Some of you may have heard about it. Some of you may have not heard about it. It is a basic of geometry. Perpendicular lines. They're lines, they're segments, they're rays that form right angles or 90-degree angles. So in this case, you have line AD. I'm going to highlight that in yellow. AD. Shouldn't have written on that like that. Give me just a second so I can highlight it. There's line AD. Then you have line BC in orange. And when they intersect with one another, they form 90-degree angles. They form one here, one here, one here, and one here. 90, 90, 90, and 90. So the right angle symbol, that little box, helps you to understand the perpendicular relationship. The symbol for perpendicular is an upside down T. That's the symbol for perpendicular, only it's little. I just made it nice and big because we were on video. So angles can also use the concept that we learned about in segments of part plus part equals whole. These problems are asking you to find an angle size. They want to know the measure of angle KLM. KLM. If KLB, here's KLB, is 26, and BLM is there, that's 60. So that's where you would have both parts. You would have part plus part equals whole. So you would have 26 plus 60 equals 86. So that's KLM. Now over here, they're asking for us to find the measure of FGH. It says that FGB is 105, and it says BGH is 54. See, I'm labeling the picture. It makes it a whole lot easier to recognize my part plus my part equals my whole. If I take the two together, add them up, so I should have 159 equals my whole, and that's the measure of angle FGH. We can still do this. This part plus part equals whole. Now what we'll do is we're going to pause the video here and we're going to actually draw these out on our paper. So what I'd like you to do right now is get some paper, some pencil, and get your Desmos calculator ready, because some of this is going to be some algebra that we have to set up, okay, and put it into the Desmos calculator.